I'm Danielle. I'm the director of Teams Elite, and I head coach the juvenile, intermediate, novice, junior, and senior Elite 12 teams. So I think the biggest thing that we look for in all of our athletes when we're forming the teams, and it progressively gets more intense and becomes more prominent in the athletes that we look for the higher up we go. I think grit and fight is something that becomes really important to us because the season is built with ups and downs no matter what happens. And so we need athletes that have a mental toughness to them so that they can dig deep even in the tough moments, whether it's a tough practice or some adversity that happens throughout the course of the season. So that becomes increasingly more important. So we typically start spring practices right away in May, but especially with junior and senior Elite 12, when we have athletes that are moving from across the country or the world, they are not typically here until kind of the end of summer. So it kind of depends on the level, but we definitely keep practicing through spring and summer. And then if people are in town, they're at practices training.
Gotcha.
Oh, that's a great question. So I think juvenile is like, they're just like little soldiers. Like you tell them to go do something and they're ready to go and they just kind of go and do their jobs and they come back and they're really eager to please. Intermediate's so fun and so high energy, and I think they just seem to have like a really good goofy personality, but they're able to harness it on the ice. But I find their practices to be a lot of fun. Novice is extremely hardworking. So if we're running things or working with a group of people, I just constantly see them working on the side and pushing themselves individually. So I think there's a lot of individual accountability on that team. Junior is, I don't even know how to explain junior. They're so competitive, and I think so much like me when I was an athlete, that they're constantly pushing each other, pushing themselves individually, but also they know when to have fun. So I really resonate with that group because it's like, okay, we can joke around and then we know it's go time without even having to say that. Senior Elite 12 is such a unique group of athletes because they're so diverse, and it just brings such oneness in a really special way. But I also think something that's different about skating after high school is it's truly a choice. It's truly your passion. And it's not like, okay, I'm going to do this because I'm in high school and finish it out. They want to be there. And so I think the vibe on the ice is so supportive and so appreciative of everybody's differences. So I think that's a fun group too. Yeah, so off the ice, all of the teams are doing several different things. They do ballroom dance, which kind of has different initiatives throughout the course of the season. So they'll go on like a 2-week, salsa, combine, and then they'll go into like ballet even, or then they'll go into like rumba, and it just kind of changes. And so they do like small initiatives and change up the style of dancing, because I think learning how to move is super important, and learning how to move to different types of music is super important. They also do ballet and flexibility, so traditional ballet shoes at the bar, as well as flexibility training and how they hold themselves. They also do strength and conditioning, which is very focused on how to support their own body weight and then the body weight of their other teammates and athletes on the team, which I think is super important, because it's not necessarily that we want to be weightlifting all the time, but we want that nice lean quality that's super powerful, like a dancer would have. And then we do off-ice program and unison work as well. So, matching all the headlines and arm lines, and sometimes we are messing with choreography still at this point in the season off the ice, but sometimes when it gets later into the season, it's truly so Senior Elite 12 is exciting because it's a different challenge, and it's also a building block to getting back to a full senior team, which is the goal in the future. And so I think it's a different kind of challenge that really gets me excited. Choreographing felt a little bit different with 12 versus 16. It allowed me to explore different shapes and different movements, and create different pictures on the ice. And so, I think it's an exciting new challenge, I think, not only for me, but for the team as well. I think that's a really interesting question because there was so much success last season that I'm really challenging our teams to try and be motivated by something other than results and numbers. And so we really have a lot of process-based goals. We talk about exponential growth and how do you continue to grow every single time you're on the ice. And the only way that happens for me in my mind, and then also in discussing with the athletes in their minds, is individual accountability and integrity. And so it's what they're doing on their own, what they're doing when they're here, how they're pushing each other as a team. And I think trying to find opportunities to continue to grow individually and as a team it's like putting one foot in front of the other and trying to focus on one little thing at a time rather than, are we going to win nationals? Are we going to make the world team again? Are we going to do anything bigger and better than we did before? And I think if we keep focusing on those big pictures, it becomes really overwhelming and it feels like a task that's unattainable to achieve. And so we're constantly trying to focus on little things. Intersections are challenging. Choreographically, they hurt my brain. I just think the timing of all of the features being required and the timing of the connections, and then also trying to think creatively outside of the box with different movements, it's a challenge. And then for the athletes to understand their responsibility, I have to do X, Y, and Z at this time, and then I have to do something here just to understand technically what's required, and then to be able to perform it. It's probably the biggest challenge this season compared to last season. I think each team has something different that I'm excited for them to present. I'm really excited actually for juveniles intersection. I'm excited for intermediate spin. That's new to the division, and I'm really proud of the work that they've put in individually to be able to think about the spin in unison and, standing next to another person. With novice, I'm really excited about their no holds. Again, that's new for them with steps. I think that's really challenged them in a good way, and I think overall it's going to really elevate the quality of our athletes at that level in the United States and, in the sport. I'm excited about the artistic element for the junior team. I think being able to have a choice of an element there and not having to just do the line like we've been doing the past few seasons has really allowed me to explore creativity, and I think the athletes are excited to try something new. And then actually, I can't believe I'm about to say this because it has been such a source of anxiety for me, but I'm really excited about the para element with the Senior Elite 12 team. I know that those requirements have taken a huge leap in the difficulty direction, but I also think it's really gotten all of us to sort of come together to create the element together, at least for our team. The athletes trying things, we could do this, but then us pushing and saying, you're going to get this, just have faith, take time. And so I feel like that's really a product of teamwork, both with the coaching staff and the athletes, so I'm excited for that. I'm excited about California because that's the first time, we get to see everybody gets to see us, and, just sort of, it's like the first step in the journey of the competitive season. So that's super exciting. I also, I love the colonial competition. I get excited for that every year because it's the first time where, we kind of step outside of the Midwest at the, novice and below levels. And so I think that's really exciting, and it's an exciting time for those teams. So yeah, I mean, I think each competition has something exciting to offer. Okay, so big picture, man, I mean, I would love to have both a junior and a senior team winning the world championships. I would love to have, a continuingly, I would love to have our pipeline continue to develop. And by that, I mean not only in strength, but in connection to one another. So I really want to get big on, overall, like a senior team, in there with the Aspire levels at practices, and creating more community within the organization. I have some secretive goals that I'm not going to share with everybody, but trying to make those happen in the next 5 years. And I'd love to just continue to push the sport in its evolution, and hopefully towards the Olympic Games. So I think what makes synchronized skating so unique is the team aspect. I think what's pushing us is influence from other disciplines. So I think, taking things that, singles, pairs, and dance skaters are doing and incorporating them into synchronized skating, tweaking them a little bit, so that it fits the sport of synchronized skating, I think is something that's going to continue to be extremely important. I think we need to learn more from the other disciplines. And then I think we need to innovate off of the other disciplines. And that's where I see Teams Elite playing a role. I really try to involve, even in our own coaching staff, having a variety of different coaches with different backgrounds, willing to innovate with me, coming into work with our teams. And I think that's something that I truly enjoy, and something that I find very valuable, and I think and I hope that it comes through in our choreography, and something that I want to continue to develop. I think our balance between fun and work is something that nobody knows about. I think people have this interpretation, or this preconceived notion that it's like drill sergeant, come in, do your work, don't smile, don't talk. And that's just not how we are. Like, we really do like to have fun with the athletes on the ice. The athlete interaction is super important to me. It is serious, but people are investing a lot of time and money and resources and a lot of their lives to sport. And so I think we all owe it to ourselves in practice to make the most amount of time of that and be the best we can be. But I also think that there has to be a balance, and I think the fun times create the collaboration and the trust between the athletes and the coaches. And it's something that I hold near and dear to my heart, and I think our athletes feel on the ice. And I think it's something that a lot of people don't know about us. Just that I'm proud of them. I'm proud of the work that they put in every single day, and I want them to be proud of themselves and to just keep pushing and keep trying. And it's not about the results. It's about the process.